All right, so finally my honeymoon phase is over for the OnePlus 8 Pro, and I've got to say this is probably one of the best smartphones I've ever used to date. But I haven't used a lot of smartphones, so take that with a grain of salt. But seriously, this is a really impressive device. I do like it more than the regular OnePlus 8. There is a hefty price tag, starts at $900, can go up to $1,000 here in the US. I know prices are a little bit different everywhere else in the world, but I'm just going to give my full review on the product, what I like, dislike, and I guess just afterthoughts on OnePlus altogether. So let's get into the review. So starting off with the display, it's no secret, OnePlus 8 Pro has, I want to say, one of the best displays I've ever used. It's 6.78 inches, Quad HD Plus, AMOLED screen with 120 Hz refresh rate. It's super vibrant, has HDR10, it gets really bright. Now, I know some people don't like the waterfall effect. I've said previously in my honeymoon phase that I didn't like that, but after using it for a couple days, I guess OnePlus has really good palm rejection in their software, and even if my palm is resting on the screen, I'm still able to use the device. The first couple of days, it was a little bit finicky in that department of palm rejection, but I think with the couple software updates that I've gotten so far, they fixed that issue. So I actually do like this whole waterfall-ish effect that's going on, because when I hold the phone, it feels like I'm almost holding the display, and I feel like it's just so cool sometimes. But another thing I want to mention is the MEMC. Pretty much what MEMC is, it's just trying to guess the frame rates that are going to be coming up, and it gives you that soap opera effect. Now, I want to go out and say that it is good, but it's not that great. Like, my TV has the same action smoothing that happens. That's what they market it as on TCL. And I want to say my TV does it much better. I actually don't mind it that much. I have used it on and off, but I found myself using it off just because it does look a little bit weird. I'll have a clip showing you guys of the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro. I'm going to put the OnePlus 8 on top. Oh, moving on to build quality. I love how I slap it when I talk about build quality. Build quality on this is super good. Like I said in the OnePlus 8, the back is a matte frosted finish, and this color is the ultramarine blue. I've got to say that this blue is just a little too blue for me. I'm not really that big on blue, but I will say that I do like the glacial green on the OnePlus 8, and the glacial green does come on the OnePlus 8 Pro. So it's really up to you because colors are subjective, but this is the one that I would go for. But it has the same problem that the OnePlus 8 has. So OnePlus says that it is fingerprint resistant. However, on the back, there is some type of residue that gets left on. I don't know if it's oil or the grease that's on your hand. But like I always said, you should probably just slap on a deburrant skin or a case and you should be fine. Another thing that really sticks out to me with this OnePlus 8 Pro is, despite its massive size at 6.78 inches, it is pretty light in the hand. But even though it is just a few inches bigger than the OnePlus 8, I would say that this one is just a little bit harder to hold in the hand, and it definitely does take a couple days to get used to. I'm going to go out and say I hold my phone like this with my pinky pretty much holding the weight of the phone, and my pinky does tire pretty quick. You know, if you guys also hold your phone with the pinky supporting the phone, he's definitely getting a workout every day using this device. So let's talk about specs, my least favorite part on this entire channel. So starting off, we have the Snapdragon 865 on a 5G chipset. You can choose between 8 or 12 gigabytes of DDR5 memory. You can choose between 128 to 256 gigabytes of storage. Has a 45 milliamp hour battery, 30 watt fast charging and wireless charging. Does not come with the device. Wi-Fi 6, stereo speakers, reverse wireless charging. It's got everything. Not everything, but it has pretty much everything that you would want in a flagship smartphone. So really good on OnePlus for including this in the OnePlus 8 Pro. So OnePlus has been getting a lot of flack on the camera department in the last couple of years, and this is my first OnePlus device, so I can't really comment on that. So there's 48 megapixel on the main camera, 48 megapixel on the ultra wide, 8 megapixel telephoto, and then you have a color filter lens. So you have a 4 camera setup, and there is it's a decent amount of height when you lay the phone on the ground, or on the table, I should say. And I've got to say these photos look really good. So let me open it up so I can show you guys some of the shots that I've taken. It feels like I'm standing right there once again, just looking at these photos. And once again, similar to my OnePlus 8, if you look at this photo of the yellow and white flowers, OnePlus does a really good job of blurring the background and really making you focus on what's up close. However, I do notice that the yellow flower in the very front is blurry, so that is a little bit strange to me. But the shot I took in this river, as you can see, I just hit auto and clicked the shutter button, and I do think it's a little bit too white, but man, this looks really good. And just keep on swiping through. Yeah, like look at this bridge. It looks so good, my goodness. And this red fire hydrant, you can see the deep red and the silver accenting it. So another thing I want to note is this photo right here. When I was going on my run, I stopped and noticed this flower, and for some reason I could not get the flower to focus, and it just kept sharpening the back of the road. Keep on swiping through. Another picture of the river. It looks really good, guys. My goodness. On the biking trail as well, the greens, the yellow, the road, the sky, everything just feels like it's a good, healthy balance in colors. So now I'm going to show you guys some clips on the OnePlus 8 Pro in 4K, and you can let me know what you guys think of the quality and the audio speakers built in. And I think you guys will be really impressed, especially with the second clip. So the reason why that last clip stopped so abruptly was because I saw the first deer, and then I turned to the right and see a second deer with more deer in the back, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to back up and let you guys enjoy your day. So that's why that clip ended so quick. But there also is video stabilization, and I'll show you the difference between the two. Like I said in my OnePlus 8 review, I think it does a really good job. You can't really tell when I'm taking steps so much with the stabilization on. However, when it is off, you can definitely tell I'm stepping up and down. So with OnePlus, they really care about speed and efficiency, and when it comes to their unlocking methods in the OnePlus 8 Pro, I can stand by that. So if you put your finger on the fingerprint reader in the display, it will unlock really fast, as you can see, and it does have facial unlock, so you just double tap on the screen, look at it, and you're in. Or instead, you can press the lock button, look at your screen, and you're in. It's just crazy fast, guys. Crazy fast. So another feature that has been added into the OnePlus 8 Pro specifically is it is now IP68 rated. So if you want to take a shower with your phone, you can go ahead and do that, no problem. Let's talk about the battery and charging. I'm tired of waving this thing around like it's a wand. Man, this thing is a beast when it comes to the battery department. It has a 45 milliamp hour battery, and I can get through a whole day and sometime into the next when using this phone. It's just, God, I love you. Sorry, I can't be too attached to this phone, but man, this battery is just, it's a game changer. So I was using it with the Quad HD Plus and 120 Hertz, and whole day, man, whole day. I'm smiling so much because there's so much that I love about this phone that I didn't think I would. And I don't know if it's just because I've been using iPhones for so long and I didn't realize what else is out there, but so with the OnePlus 8 Pro, you now have 30-watt wireless charging, and they just keep on impressing me. So I thought fast charging with my iPhone was fast, but this thing, fast charging 30 watts with the wire or wireless, is absolutely insane. And I wanted to put OnePlus to the test and see if this phone could actually get 0 to 50% in 30 minutes wireless charging. So I did it, and I can say in 30 minutes with wireless charging, 0%, this phone got to 50%. So OnePlus, I commend you for actually implementing that and staying true to your word. It's just impressive from all the technology that you've put into this device, and I think you guys should be really proud of yourself. All right, so time's finally up on the OnePlus 8 Pro, and we're gonna see the battery should be at around 30%, or 50%, I should say. And look at that, exactly 50%, guys, in 30 minutes from 0. So pretty impressive by OnePlus, and I'm just gonna let this full charge at this point. It's not that hot. I can definitely hold this in my hand. Yeah, it's not too bad. But yep, back to warp charging. So I want to talk about one thing that I dislike about this phone, because I pretty much told you all my likes and all the features in the phone. And I've been seeing this online as well, but my phone slightly has this problem. So if I were to open a screen that's primarily white, which is pretty much most pages on the internet, I do have a slight green hue, and it's definitely noticeable when I just lay it on the table. And it's on both sides. It is a little bit distracting because you do expect to see just white when it curves on the side. I know people are really upset about that because this is a $1,000 phone and things like this should not be happening in a device this expensive. So I understand where you're coming from, and hopefully OnePlus can fix this issue. So another thing I want to talk about is this huge hump on the back from the camera design and how some people hate it. And from my personal experience using it, it's not that big of a deal, because I would say most of the things that you interact with on your smartphone is going to be from the bottom half portion of your screen, and you're going to be typing away on the keyboard. And as you can see, if I start typing down here, it's not that big of a deal. It's not tilting at all. And if I were to go to the top portion of the screen, it's usually just swiping down on the notification center, and there's no tilt at all. I do see where you're coming from. If you do need to touch the top right or the left, it does wobble quite a bit. But from my experience, most of the things are bottom down on the display, and using it on the table is not that, I guess, not that big of a deal for me. So do you gotta have it is the question that I have to answer. And I have to say, at this price range, if you aren't tied to Apple or Samsung, this is the device you need to get. I mean, it checks all the boxes on everything that I need. If you want the absolute best of what OnePlus has to offer, not even OnePlus, I would say Android in general has to offer, then this is the phone you gotta get for the value. I mean, you're getting a 5G chipset, 120 hertz display, Quad HD Plus display, you're getting a fantastic camera, huge phone, wireless charging, list goes on, and this phone is incredible. Really, it truly is an incredible device. So next, I knew that was gonna happen. So next, I want to talk about the price of the OnePlus 8 Pro, and I think this is where a lot of people are upset. And I feel like with this channel, I'm just doing my best to try and calm people down whenever they're upset. But my insight on it is the price is kind of justified, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I wasn't shocked, because when I was watching the press release, honestly, I never thought OnePlus would make a phone that expensive. But from the way the presentation was going, how he was saying, this is what people wanted, here's what we're giving you, it seems kind of justified now. Because if you look at the features in this phone, guys, for what people wanted, apparently, like the IP rating, 120 hertz display, Quad HD Plus display, you have a fantastic camera now, 30-watt wireless charging, reverse wireless charging. I mean, the list goes on, guys. And to say that this phone should be $700, I feel like OnePlus would be losing way too much money on it. And I think people are neglecting the $900 version. So I think some people should look into that instead of just looking at the $1,000 one. But still, I think the price is kind of justified. Unfortunately, I think just some features that people want come with the heavy price tag. And it does suck that you have to lose out on some of the killer features in here, like the wireless charging, if you do want to go back to the OnePlus 8. But I know this was probably a tough pill for OnePlus to swallow when they were creating this device. And I think moving forward, they just said, hey, this is the price that we have to go with, and there are going to be people that are upset. But I do think that the phone is still going to sell well. And by no surprise, the phone has been sold out time again every time they bring it back in stock. And from some of my Indian reviewers, apparently it's also back ordered in India. So clearly people still want this device. People want these features regardless of how expensive it is. And I just really commend OnePlus for engineering a device that is just fantastic. Whew. So that's my review of the OnePlus 8 Pro. What's my background right now? Oh, I'm in the icy mountains. Whew. The OnePlus 8 Pro, man, it's an amazing device, and I do think you gotta have it. But if you did enjoy the content, please make sure to subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, and as always, guys, much love. Man, this is... OnePlus really blew me away with this. I'm just shocked. But which one is better? Obviously this one. Man. Oh, man. This display. 120 hertz. Oh, I should have recorded in 60 frames to show you guys the difference.